Taurus, welcome to your reading. So I'm going to start here with your current energy and see what is happening in your world. What do you need to focus on? And your past? Your near future? Your hopes or fears? And your potential outcome? So looking here, bottom of the deck, I am getting the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about seeing the potential in a situation. You haven't really started down this path yet, but you've identified opportunities that you want to explore. And that's what's really showing up here with the Two of Wands. And that absolutely shows up in your current energy. So I am getting the Page of Swords, which is that inquisitive energy, asking all the questions and getting down into the details. I love it because it's being influenced here by the King of Pentacles. So that's earth energy, all focused on stability, long-term opportunities, really connected to whatever it is that you're seeing, wherever you're seeing that potential in any situation. This tells me that you're exploring, okay, is this real? Is this something that I can actually make a reality? What do I need to do in order to go about this? Because the King of Pentacles, it's not just stability, but it's also planning what you need to do in order to make that real. I love that energy. And showing up in what you need to focus on, the Eight of Wands, it's forward movement. It's also open, honest communication. And so anything that you feel is going to further you down this path, go down wherever you see this real opportunity. It feels like you're going to go down that path and you're being encouraged to move down the path. So it's not just about asking the questions, planning everything out. This is action oriented. Start taking the steps that you need to in order to go down this path. And don't be afraid to ask the questions here. Between the Page of Swords and the Eight of Wands, it's a lot of communication. So don't be afraid to open up, ask all of those detailed questions. It's the only way you're going to know anything. And then in the past, I have the Judgment card. I love this. So this tells me you completed a cycle. You completed a cycle that allowed you to really focus on yourself. The Judgment shows up when you've made the determination, I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to move on. I've made a very clear final decision as it relates to me and what it is that I'm going to do. And it feels a lot like that resurrection energy where you're kind of stepping into your own power or recapturing it in some way. And now you're at the point of, okay, well, I know who I am and I know what I want. So let me go down that path. Showing up here in your strength position is the Six of Pentacles. Now, the Six of Pentacles is a card of generosity. And what it comes down to is as you find yourself exploring this path, going down this path in general, you're opening yourself up to new opportunities by putting yourself out there in a more meaningful way. It just, the way it's coming through is you've grounded yourself in whatever transformation you just completed. And now you're at this place of exploring opportunities and potentials. And so you're really putting yourself out there. You're pouring yourself into these opportunities to see, is this really going to be in my best interest before I completely go all in? Is this really going to work the way that I want it to? And it feels like that's the learning that's taking place now. And what I see here in the near future is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords, now on the negative side, this can be lies, manipulation, and deceit. So definitely make sure you're asking the questions that you need to ask. Get down into the details. Nobody's going to fault you for asking all the questions. And if they are, that should be some sort of flag for you. Is this really what I want? Do I want to explore something in this way? What is this? Why is this person keeping something from me? Because this is also about secrets too. And so it could be part of the path is you keeping things to yourself until you're sure this is what you're doing. That could absolutely be showing up here with the Seven of Swords. Or again, maybe there's something where a truth needs to come to the surface, whether it's somebody intentionally deceiving you or you're just picking up on it from a nuanced standpoint because you're asking the questions and you're getting either non-answers or just very vague answers to very specific questions. I'm getting a lot of energy out of that Seven of Swords. We'll find out more when I clarify. And then looking at the external influences here, so how the universe is shaping the situation, I've got the Sun and that Queen of Cups showing up together. And so the Queen of Cups is a lot of love, a lot of nurturing support. So this is you taking care of yourself and your needs while also focusing on your future, going down this path and really being hopeful and optimistic. It feels like this is what led to that Judgment card showing up in the past, and it's also what keeps you energized going forward. Sitting here in your hopes or fears, I am getting the Nine of Cups. Now, the Nine of Cups is, it's your goals, your dreams, your wishes. Having that show up here in this way, it feels like that's really where you're seeing the potential. So if you're looking at an opportunity and it doesn't measure up against what you want, you're not going to go after it. That's how it's all kind of playing out. And that's also why you're being encouraged to really ask all those questions, get the details, have everything out in the open, just understand all of this information and how much of it is really going to help you along the way. Sitting here in your potential outcome is that Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is you mastering a skill. This is all the work that you're doing, getting some sort of reward for it. So all the work that you're being encouraged to do here, you're about to get some sort of payoff, because when you hit the Eight of Pentacles, you've mastered it. You've identified all the information. You've drawn conclusions that make sense to you. You've figured out what opportunities are going to be right for you. And so the payoff is on the other side of that Eight of Pentacles. So let's get more details. Let's see if we can be more specific here. So what popped out was the Two of Wands. That was Two of Wands, Ten of Cups. Let's see what actually comes up here. Nine of Swords. So the stress, the fear, the anxiety around something that you're not getting, or there's like a fear attached to what you're trying to get, what you're looking for, just because of the cards that popped out. Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands, Nine of Swords. What I'm getting is movement in despite of fear. When you're looking at the potential in a situation, part of your kind of way of evaluating all the information and trying to figure out if this is the right path forward is kind of using your past experiences and trying to find the right words to use to articulate what this energy feels like. In one respect, you're focused on what really matters to you. You're going to go after where you see real opportunity, something here that aligns with your Nine of Cups, your goals, your dreams, your wishes. But there's also something connected to your fear. If you're going to see a path, or you recognize a path and it triggers that negative emotion within you, you're going to avoid it. That's what the Nine of Swords is telling me. And that's a lot of why you're asking these questions, because you don't want to be caught off guard. You don't want to be surprised in a negative way around a situation that you thought would be grounded and stable. You thought it aligned with your goals and dreams, but ultimately it didn't. Tell me about the Eight of Wands and what you need to focus on. Four of Swords, healing. Taking a step back, healing. So any kind of movement forward needs to come from a grounded place. You don't want to act from a wound. You want to act from feeling solid and grounded in who you are. So this way, all the decisions that you're making and all the action that you're taking is really coming from that balanced place. It makes it a lot easier to see what is that path forward to get to the Two of Wands. With Judgment, I'm getting the Four of Cups, and this feels like part of the transformation. The four, because we have two fours out here, the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups. So you've been focusing on your stability, and absolutely, you don't want to sacrifice any stability as you move forward. The Four of Cups is sadness and disappointment. So what I'm getting here in the past is that you overcame it. You found a way to get yourself into a more positive space. You might have had an unexpected offer come through here in the past, somebody that kind of helped you along the way. And since I had this card that really wanted to come out, it's a Six of Pentacles. And so somebody here in the past really helped you open up, helped you to understand how to move on from something in the past, some sort of negative experience. And somebody here along the way is kind of helping you open up as you move forward. So let's get the Six of Pentacles here in your strength. We have the Knight of Wands showing up here. And so the Knight of Wands, it's a very fast moving energy. It's impulsive energy. And so as you're moving forward, you might be taking action without all of the information, but there's something about this working to your advantage. And so there's enough information for you to keep moving forward. This is where it feels like a truth needs to come to the surface. You're going to keep going. You're going to keep digging. That's what I'm getting. Whenever you're faced with an opportunity, you're not going to be satisfied with half answers or partial information at all. Not at all. With the Seven of Swords, I'm getting Temperance energy. And so Temperance is emotional balance. It's Sagittarius energy. And so there is something about truth that's coming to the surface. There's something you intuitively are going to recognize. That's not coming through in the cards, but it's coming across that way in the energy, where you're going to recognize, you know what, if somebody's only giving me half answers, then what am I meant to imply? What information are they giving me? What information are they not giving me? And then how do I use that to determine what my decision is going to be? Because it feels like you are able to kind of connect the dots yourself and fill in that gap of information to figure out what's going to be in your best interest. With the Queen of Cups, I'm getting the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a card of success. And having that show up here with the Queen of Wands, the more that you nurture and take care of yourself, the more balanced you are, the more healing that takes place. Again, a lot easier to see the path forward when you're coming at it from that healed perspective. With the Sun, I'm getting the Page of Cups here. I love this. You're going after exactly what you want. Page of Cups is that young, youthful energy. The Sun is too. The Sun is about children. So there's a lot of very fun, youthful energy coming out of these cards. And what the universe is doing is it's inspiring you to go after what you want. It's giving you all of the tools necessary for you to figure out which path is going to be the best one for you. With the Nine of Cups, I'm getting the Five of Cups, a shift in perspective. So Nine of Cups, Five of Cups, it's the way that you're coming about all of this. These two here, there's something that's shifting, like an inversion. It's the colors that I'm really drawn to on these two cards. So they're from completely different decks, but you can see the blue in the middle of the Nine of Cups becomes the blue here on the Five of Cups. And so there's something where you're shifting the narrative. You're focusing more on the yellow, on the positive energy. You're focusing on what you have, not on what you've lost. That was the transformation that happened here. And so a lot of the decisions that you're making and really just all this information digging that's taking place is so that you can identify, you know what, is there a trap here? Is there something I'm not seeing? I want to be able to see it all. I want to draw my own conclusions, have that informed consent, informed decision-making process. And so you want it to come from that perspective. And that's where the universe is giving you all of the tools so that you are evaluating things from that lens. With the Eight of Pentacles, I am getting the Fool card. I love this. Brand new chapter, brand new beginning. And I said you were about to get some rewards, and here it is. You mastering this kind of path forward creates a new chapter, a new beginning. It allows for a completely different set of experiences. It's not about repeating anything from the past, especially any kind of stress or anxiety that you would have experienced here. This is a brand new start for you. I love the way that this is unfolding because this is coming from you and the way that you're approaching all of this. So Taurus, this is your reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.